Thanks very much, Cathaoirleach, and thanks very much, Minister Feehan. I'm here today to speak again in relation to the Phoenix Centre, which is located in what was the old Mount Carmel on the grounds of St Joseph's Care Centre in Longford. And just to give you context to the building that I'm speaking of, it was built in 1844, and all the rest of the buildings on that original site were demolished in the 1960s, and a new purpose-built St Joseph's Care Centre, as it is there today, was built and is being currently upgraded. But the building, which was, as I said, the old Mount Carmel, is now the Phoenix Centre, which is the base where our Disabled People of Longford is based, the early intervention and the school-age teams, as well as now your PDS services. Basically all your speech and language, your occupational therapy and your psychologist services for people in Longford is based in this building. And the reality is it's not fit for purpose. I would have spoken on this issue back in November 21 when we actually had waiting lists for services of 600 children. And only recently there I met with Minister Rabbitte at the centre there, and we know of a situation actually where we have over 700 children on waiting lists for services and over 200 children on a waiting list for assessment and need. Currently, at the minute, we actually have only half a speech and language post, which is totally unacceptable for the people in my home county and for the parents and the families in particular. So the reality is we need to put, number one, staffing needs to be put in place, and as I say, following that meeting with Minister Rabbitte and HSE officials, I'm very confident, there was a commitment given that extra staffing and resources would be put in place to deal with a lot of the issues. But the reality is the building that it's in, it's on the second story of a building that's 180 years old. It's not fit for purpose. There has been a lack of investment put into that building because of discussions to build a new purpose-built or relocate a new purpose-built Phoenix Centre, which is badly needed. So, as I say, I want to first of all put on the record, I want to thank Minister Rabbitte for coming, meeting with parents, finding out what the issues are on the ground with regard to services, etc. in the county. We also spoke in relation to the lack of overnight respite for families and for children in the county, where there hasn't been respite for nearly 6 years in the county. So I'm very confident now that we'll make positive moves with regard to that and have something permanent put in place at some stage later on this year. But the people of Longford, the children, the families, we deserve a proper service for the children in our area, and we need it to be located in a fit-for-purpose building, because the reality is this building is not fit for purpose. It's on the top of a hill. You can get it hard even to park a car actually when you go up to it, and it's not fit for purpose for accessing anyone with any sort of a disability. So I just want to get a commitment from the department. There's been discussions going on in a long time in regard to this, but when are we going to have a fit for purpose building put in place for Longford? Thank you.
Plans to relocate certain services to Ballyminion to include the Children's Disability Network team, and the HSE advises that work continues on progressing the proposed relocation, although it is not currently in a position to advise on a likely date for the relocation of the services. Whilst awaiting this new accommodation, the Phoenix Centre has been made as suitable as possible to meet the demands of the services for children and adults with a disability in Longford through a series of initiatives such as the booking of all existing therapy space, upgrading and reassignment of existing centre space, including the waiting areas to support staff teams, and the booking of suitable external accommodation in order to provide for medium, large group or family training programmes. These initiatives are ongoing in line with health and safety policies and infection control guidelines. In addition, the HSE advised that analysis of all 12 networks in the CHO 8 region is ongoing to identify medium to long-term options which would provide a higher standard of accommodation for all network teams. As I'm sure Senator Carrick are aware, capital spending in disability services in recent years has quite rightly, in my view, focused on the continuation of the decongregation process, leading to an unprecedented level of investment in disability services, with investment of £100 million for new initiatives in 2021. The increased level of funding will enable the HSE to build on initiatives currently underway, including the decongregation programme, with renewed focus on assisting people to move out of congregated settings to homes in the community. And I am pleased to inform the Deputy that CHO 8, or Senator, that in which Longford is located, received 10.4 million between 2016 and 2021 to fund decongregation projects. This level of funding was the second highest amount allocated to a CHO in that period, and this spend resulted in 17 new decongregational units being completed in that time. This benefited 65 people moving from a congregated setting to independent living between 2018 and 2021 in CHO 8 region, which I consider to be a significant achievement, and I trust this clarifies the matters raised.
Thank you very much indeed, Minister. Senator Carrigy, please.
Thank you, Minister Feehan. But to be honest, this doesn't clarify the matter raised. It actually doesn't answer the question which I actually asked. And while I welcome the investment of 100 million for initiatives, I welcome the fact that there's funding into CHO area, but CHO 8 area actually covers 6 counties: Longford, Westmeath, Laois, Offaly, Louth, Meath, and there's significant funding. The reality is we are providing them services that was listed, as you listed earlier on, in a building that was built in 1844. It's not fit for purpose. And, you know, as I said, that we've a serious need of extra services in our county based on the list that I'm after giving of over 700 people and children waiting on various services, over 200 children waiting on assessment and need. And as I say, we do not have a building that's fit for purpose. And that is really the question I want clarified. When are we in Longford going to get the proper building and facility that we need and we deserve for the people of our county? So, to be quite honest, I'd just like this to go back to the department. It doesn't clarify what I've raised, and I would ask them to please clarify that for me and for the people of Longford. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.